we'll have Coach Satterfield and then Tony will be down shortly. So, questions?
Coach, do you have an update or anything you can say about Jeff? Have you been able to practice or do anything for you guys this week?
We held him out on yesterday's practice. Just he got mental reps and followed around the huddle and everything. Expecting to be out there tonight and go as full speed as he possibly can.
Does he have to be a certain percentage? I mean, you put him out there if he's not 100%. How do you approach that for Saturday?
That's more of a coach rule question than my question. But we're never going to put it's the kid's health first before we put him out there.
How do you feel the other guys have done this week in their prep work?
Good. It's an opportunity. We try to iron sharpen iron mentality all the time. Through competition. So they're preparing like they're going to be the starters, both of them, and they've had a good week so far.
With Heinrich, he got in there a little bit on Saturday, but what has sort of stood out to you about his mentality and just how he approaches things with working with him these last 8 months?
He's very much a football guy. I don't know if he comes across like that all the time, but he's a very smart kid, works at it, diligent in his work. He's grinded since the spring of just improving his craft at that position, and it was good that it was bad that Jeff got a little banged up, but it was good that he got to get out there and get some reps. I think that'll help him.
Before Jeff's injury, when did you get the sense of what was going on with him during the Colorado game?
It's easy to say, well, just catch the snaps, but I think it goes back to what we talked about last week. Like, I've got to continue to do a better job coaching him. We have to catch the snaps, and what I mean by that is like we have to work during the week with more crowd noise. Like I've got to do a better job of making sure that we're utilizing certain snap counts, with the motions and stuff that we use. I've got to be smart with the play types with the motions and stuff that we're using, especially down in the student section when it got really loud. I think, all that kind of comes into play. So I think, it was just one of those days where there was all kinds of factors of why the ball wasn't getting caught, from the shotgun alignment. And I think that, we'll improve on it, and but it's all of us. It's not just Jeff.
With Harvard, or with the situation with Chuba kind of battling something too at the same time as Jeff, does a guy like Longville have his reps ramp up, or how do you manage that situation with a guy like Longville?
Yeah, Luke. Luke's one of our room favorites. We've adopted him, being a new kid this year, but he's done an excellent job, just from a development standpoint, from when he got here to where he is now. Like when he first got here, I would say we'd have to go find somebody else to go in the game. But I think that he's developed himself into, more than an adequate option if we needed him to go into the game and finish a game off for us.
I feel like through 2 games you've found a few staples with this offense you really believe in.
After 2 games, I'm very frustrated. With just the ball security, it kind of just takes hold of everything that you've done. We've done some really, really, really good things offensively, especially running the football, the quarterback run game. Guys are getting better each week, but it's clouded by the turnovers. And so we've got to fight. I don't know if I'm not answering your question, but we have to fight like hell to win the turnover margin and stop doing, we're not giving ourselves a chance to win. Playing great defense, playing great special teams, playing good offense. But when you turn the ball over like that, you have no shot.
What have you thought in terms of, you mentioned play calling? There were a couple of 3rd down calls late in the first half. Do you re-examine those, like allowing Jeff to kind of scramble on that one, or having him throw on 3rd and 12 with about 3 minutes left, only down 3-0?
No, I don't have any second guessing about any of my calls on 3rd down. There was a couple early that, going into it, Coach and I discussed just, hey, we're backed up a little bit. Let's be smart. Let's get it complete. As Coach, you'll hear him say, like, let's get the ball and play and see if we can catch and run. So other than that, I'm good with all the calls that I had on 3rd down.
Did the turnover issue crop up during the season, or was it something that was going on in August?
No, it was. It's really just popped up in the last 2 weeks to where it's been to this magnitude, and just kind of really came to a head last week. But again, it's easy to say Jeff, it was all Jeff's fault. Like there's all kinds of factors in those, why he wasn't able to catch all those balls from under center with the motions and the snap timing and the having to go on the silent count and get the motion back there. So we've really worked at it. I hate to be reactionary. That sucks when you have to come in and be reactionary, but I think that we're off to a good start of making sure we remedy that.
How do you feel about your running backs right now? And Anthony didn't really play Saturday.
100%. And he had a great day Sunday, great day yesterday. So he's going to keep working his way back into the alignment. Working his way back into the lineup. He's very, very physical and gives us a lot of options back there. I'm pleased with the entire room. They've done a nice job. They've been productive. Gay's been productive. Ramirez been productive. So they're off to a good start.
Through a couple games, it's kind of been hard for you guys to get the ball to the wide receivers. What have you sort of seen on film as you examine what teams are doing to take some of the receivers away?
I think it's just a matter of, last year here at Nebraska, they threw the ball to, one or two guys. I think it's just guys learning how to, have opportunities, learn how the responsibilities to get open. I think that we improved a little bit last week. Billy, at least we got the ball in Billy's hands last week, and I think we'll continue to improve this week. We know that in order to be a good offense, we can't just run the ball and run the quarterback. We've got to develop a passing game, and I think that we're steadfast at doing that and making sure that each week we're going to get a little bit better.
From your time with Coach Rule, I'm sure you've heard some of the things in the past that he's been saying this week about double down on what you're doing, trust the process. What does that kind of stuff mean to you? What does it look like when you put it into practice?
It means don't lose, don't be reactionary in a manner where you're going to change it. Well, we're going to do this differently now, or you come in and you're like, I know we've been repping these plays since the spring, but we're changing our mind. These new plays are going to work. I know we met for 20 minutes last week, but let's meet for 60 this week. Like all those little things. Like our process is our process. We own our process. We learn, live, and defend the process. The guys that have been with Coach Roll, we're in our defend mode. Like we've been doing this since 2010, 2011, 2012, and so with moments like this, we know it's going to come early when we start the whole the experience in year number one, and our thing has always been just double down on the process. Don't change it. If something needs to be changed, we'll change it. But our process is our process. It's been proven, so we have to double down on it and just do it better.
What message do you give some of these young receivers who really have an opportunity to play? They don't have to wait their turn. They can play right away.
Yeah, they need to come out and practice, and they need when we're doing one-on-ones, they need to go get open. They need to attack the ball. They need to show that be competitive and be productive. And there's a heck of an opportunity out there at that position to go and make plays and do things.
Have you ever had a situation where basically only 3 receivers took 95% of the snaps?
I have, yeah. I mean, is it a good situation? Not a great situation, but I've been there before.
What about Northern Illinois, their defensive front? What jumps out about them and how they might challenge you guys?
They have 8 returning starters. They're an older team, so they're a bunch of grown men that we're going to be playing Saturday. They've been in some fires. They've played in some big stadiums, so it's not going to be anything big for them. I think that they're very disruptive. They do a lot of different movements and in-line games that really cause some frustration to offensive lines. So we got to be prepared to block movement and block a physical front line.
What kind of challenge was it to kind of have to open things up on the road the first 2 games, trying to transition this team, the offense, all of that, being quarterback?
Right now, it sucks. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, you'd love to have been at home and been comfortable and, playing maybe, like some people do, what would be seen as a smaller opponent. That would have felt better. But in the long run, 6 weeks from now, would it have been better? No. What stinks right now, kind of doubling down on the process, is going to make us stronger 6 weeks from now. We needed to go through that. We played in 2 hostile environments. That environment, I was in the SEC for 2 years. Those are some crazy stadiums. Last week was insane. And, the crowd noise and everything that we've had to go through the first 2 weeks offensively to force the issue of communication, really ramping up the communication, new ways to communicate, I think is going to pay dividends for us, 6, 7 weeks from now. So what sucks right now, right, is going to be a blessing in the end.
What's your assessment of the offensive line, how they've played so far?
I mean, it's our most consistent crew. They've given up some sacks. And like I said last week, they're not always their fault. It's easy to say the quarterback got sacked, that's the offensive lineman's fault. But, they come to work every day. They know and do their job. They're very dependable. They're doing a nice job in the run game. They're doing, it's not just quarterback runs. We're under center, handing the ball off and, getting yards. So they need to continue to improve and get better, as the entire group does. But I'm very pleased with them.
Anything in particular that struck you about that stadium and that atmosphere?
No, you can just feel the electricity. It was an electric stadium. It felt like a big game, and I'd never been there before. I watched all those games my whole life as a kid, seeing the black thing that said Colorado in the big press box. That was cool to see. But it's neat, like whenever you I've never been in an in a program where you're on the road, and there's that many of your fans there. Like it was kind of neat. You know, it felt like a state championship game, kind of like, you know, there was so much red in the stands.
Hey, Coach Rule made a comment about going to this side of the stadium, and you and him walking by some photos, and seeing some guy you guys didn't know who it was and thinking he was interesting. But he didn't unpack the whole story. But what do you think of like this stadium?
It's the coolest thing, and like Coach Rule came in my office this morning, and you know, it's been a grind the last 3 days, and it's not been a lot of fun for anybody, you know, trying to work through all this stuff. And he opens the door and he's like, Sat, what's up? Good morning. He goes, woke up this morning, we're freaking coaching football at Memorial Stadium this weekend. How cool is that? You know, and it is cool. And it's I hope I never take it for granted. Just walking, you know, through the halls and seeing the pictures, you can just feel the history, the tradition, and we got to honor that. And you know, I'm going to go walk through there and just start, you know, saying some prayers to the Nebraska Memorial Stadium football gods, just win the turnover margin. So it's a blessing to be here, and we love it. Thank you, guys.